Hey, good afternoon and welcome to EliteHealthOnline.com. Today we have special guest here on this podcast, Shane Rusk from Pharmakeo and Avexipel. Thanks, Shane, for being with us.
Thanks again for having me.
Yeah, and then my business partner and co-owner, Boomer Cornwell. Thanks for being with us, Boomer.
Yeah, thank you for having me too.
So today we're going to be talking about neuropathy and ARA-290. We've got several segments here we're going to record. In this first segment, though, we're going to cover just the background on what ARA-290 is, the fact that it's a peptide. Just a quick disclaimer, however, everything today is for educational purposes only. We have providers available online. Within about 48 hours, you can be on the phone with one of our providers. Always seek medical help from a qualified provider. So, Shane, again, let's step back and talk a little bit about peptides. Most folks are probably not familiar with peptide therapy, although most of our patients at Elite Health Online are. But anyone new coming to us is not familiar with what is peptide therapy. And then let's kind of segment into ARA-290 as being one of those type of peptides and what exactly ARA is.
Yeah, so peptides as a whole is just a genre of medicine that's considered more natural, right, versus synthetic. So it's not a lot of chemicals put together. It's not a lot of chemically synthesized drugs per se. There really are just a sequence of short amino acids, less than 40 in total length, that activate processes or enzymatic activity within the body to bring about a natural response. So we're trying to induce and work with the body's physiology in a lot of what we do. And since we are trying to optimize the body naturally with HRT, among other things, this is a huge complement to people's quality of life and wellness.
So Shane, kind of what I hear you saying there when I hear you say that, I often hear a lot of people say the body has everything it needs to repair itself for the most part. But obviously, as we age, some of these things decline, or maybe we're in smaller doses. Basically, with the peptide type therapy, we're putting back these natural sequences of amino acids into the body to allow the body to, again, as you said, do what it's supposed to do, which is repair itself.
Sure. Yes. Or we're creating an amino acid sequence that the body recognizes as natural to induce the response, right? So a lot of these are analogs. They're, in some cases for GH secretagogues, but for the case of ARA-290, it's going to look similar, although very different to EPO because it doesn't bind to everything and it won't increase certain, blood production. But the cool part is it does bind very effectively and does work enzymatically on the innate repair receptor. And that is what causes tissue healing and brings about a calming of the inflammatory state for people.
Interesting. Okay. So Shane, ARA-290 is specifically designed to address neuropathy. Okay. But let's also kind of go slow into this category and let's tell the audience a little bit more about what neuropathy really is. I know, some have never experienced it like myself. So just kind of break down neuropathy and tell us what that is.
Sure. So neuropathy is commonly associated with something that we all know is diabetes type 2 specifically. And with that, diabetics have small nerve fiber reduction, toxicity, loss, and damage throughout their body. It starts in the feet. So the most common place to notice a neuropathy onset is going to be a sharp, tingling, kind of pinprick sensation, pain that can almost feel electrifying, right? It's very sharp. It comes and goes. You don't know when it's going to onset. You don't know when it's going to alleviate. In particular, it can be crippling for some. And as that is happening, you're causing more and more inflammation, more and more damage to tissues. So it's very important to find a way to alleviate this and hopefully stop the process altogether. Neuropathy can come on in other places as well. It can be found in the feet. The hands. It can be found in other parts of the body. Just think of it as essential nerve pain, overfiring and nerve damage and pain associated.
Yep. Shane, if people are seeking out help, when you have this in one of these conditions, people are seeking help. And there's all types of different, therapies that are out there, some that work, some that don't work. What does the research and the initial clinical data around ARA-290 reveal that you guys have seen? Obviously, Pharmakeo is a respectable pharmacy. You put out great products and things that work. But, kind of tell us, what does the data show?
Yeah. There's preclinical trials that have gone on, and there's clinical trials associated with this. There's a decade worth of data that we consider substantial. But before that, even there's been research done on many analogs for amino acids as a treatment for neuropathy. But nonetheless, they have proven with human subjects and animal studies that not only is it safe and effective with very little toxicology, actually none observed, which is significant, none worth reporting anyway. But it helped with people that had a cardiovascular event or a traumatic brain injury or tissue damage from, call it a car wreck, or sports related injury, chronic organ failure in any form of system. There's, again, neuropathy, sarcoidosis. The list goes on and on. But essentially, if you were to encompass and look at the body as a whole and you experience pain or hyperinflammation as pain throughout the body, this could be used in conjunction with other things that we offer, like BPC 157.
Excellent.
Okay. How is ARA-290 administered? Is this an oral? Is it an injection?
It's a simple sub-Q injection.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's pretty easy. Once a day, twice a day?
No, actually, you space it out throughout the week. It can be dependent. There's a couple of different protocols out there. We suggest an injection 3 times per week, 4 milligrams. It comes in a 6 milligram per mil strength.
Okay.
Excellent.
Great.
Awesome. Well, Shane, thank you for being with us. Remember, why don't you tell people how to interact with us? And then folks, just on subsequent podcasts, we'll be talking about more about ARA-290 and neuropathy. So join us for those. Remember, why don't you just tell people how they can interact with us?
Yeah, it's real easy. So you just go to www.elitehealthonline.com, where you can take a look at products like ARA-290, the rest of our products that we have to offer. And really the whole point of getting there too is to get signed up with one of our providers. Maybe this is appropriate for you, maybe it's not, maybe other therapies are appropriate in conjunction with HRT. So it's real simple. When you go to elitehealthonline.com, you click book appointment. They'll put you through a process where you order your labs, get your labs drawn with LabCorp. It's very simple. And within a couple of days, you can be speaking to one of our providers. If necessary, they'll prescribe something like ARA-290 or something else that we have to offer too. So the whole process is very quick. It's very simple. Again, www.elitehealthonline.com.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you for being here today. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.